Hey, Trey, Mike Hauk here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. We've got about 20 of our local media members here. We're going to hop into questions. We'll begin with Eric Bailey of the Tulsa World and then go to Jason Kersey.
Hey, Trey. Thanks for doing this. How much will you be looking to help fill the void that Kenneth Murray really had as a defensive leader heading into this season?
You know, that was one thing that I was looking forward to, you know what I'm saying, knowing that he was leaving. You know, he left a legacy, he left a mark, and he gave us the blueprint, you know, on how to be successful and get where we wanted to be. And I know I was next up, you know, as being a leader and being one of the old guys. And so I've taken that into account, that I really got to step up and do my job this year, you know, hold everybody accountable and follow his footsteps.
Thanks, Trey.
Okay, Jason Kersey of The Athletic, and then Ryan Aber.
Trey, I wanted to ask you, the last two Big 12 championship games, you've made huge monumental plays between chasing the guy down last year, the safety the year before. What did those two plays do for your confidence?
It did a lot, you know, knowing that, you know, like it's all eyes is on you, and it's a big moment, you know what I'm saying, going down the stretch, you know, there's a play needed to be made. And when you can make plays like those, you know, like just twice, 2 times in a row, that builds a lot of confidence, knowing that like you could do it again when the play is needed. And so I felt like that's built a lot of confidence for me in my game, you know, just knowing that anybody can count on me to make a play.
Thanks, Trey.
No problem.
Okay, Ryan Aber of the Oklahoman, and then Joe Bettner.
Yeah, Trey, turnovers were such an emphasis on this defense a year ago in Alex Grinch's first season. Those didn't come, I know, in the numbers that y'all would have liked. How's the emphasis on that been this year? You know, what do you think can get that turned around, and just how different is it, you know, working for those?
I mean, it's a lot different from last year and this year. You know, we talked about it, you know, we kind of got on the right track as of like, you know, emphasizing those and like talking about takeaways. But this year, a lot of guys really came up, you know, in fall camp and practices with everything going on. You know, everybody was focused, and it was a lot more plays made this fall camp and this year than it was last year. So, and I feel like whatever you do on that practice field, you know, that plays on into the game. So I'll be expecting to see a lot of more takeaways this year, just by how we did it in fall camp.
Appreciate it, Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Bettner with the Norman Transcript, and then we'll go to John Hoover.
Trey, wondering how Trey Norwood has looked as he's returned from that injury from last season, and if that's maybe injected any bit of extra leadership, I guess, on the field now that he can be out there with you guys.
He's looked really good, you know, coming back, you know, from an ACL injury. You know, some guys kind of lose a step and stuff like that, but he hasn't lost a step at all. He's actually gained a step, you know, just seeing him out there flying around, you know, and having an extra leader out there, because, you know, he's also one of the old guys. He's played since his freshman year, you know what I'm saying? That helps our depth and stuff like that, and like just going on in the future, like, just know we're going to have a lot of leaders on this team, and with him going back, there's going to be a lot more plays being made.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, John Hoover with SI Sooners, and then Caleb McCory.
Hey, Trey, we talked to in recent weeks Roy Manning and Alex Grinch, and they both told us about kind of a transformation that took place in you between the offseason and now. I'm wondering if you can maybe describe from your perspective the need to step up, you know, senior year, the whole thing about, you know, running out of time in your career. I wonder if you could just maybe describe when you knew at some point, okay, this is the last year, or whatever it was, I got to pick it up.
I mean, it kind of goes back into, you know, after the LSU game, you know, taking into account of everything that was going on in that game, and knowing that we had a lot of guys leaving. You know, that was defensive leaders, and just seeing, like, for me, you know, just seeing all those guys who worked, you know, like, yo, this is our last year, you know what I'm saying? If I want this to be my last year, I got to go hard. So for me, I know this is my last year. There's no coming back. And then I looked at guys like CD, you know, Kenneth Murray, you know what I'm saying, Nev, like what they did, you know, to transfer their game. And I took account of that, you know, the whole summer I was working hard, the whole fall camp, you know what I'm saying? I knew like I have to be serious about this, and you got to be a pro, you know, day in and day out, because like if you practice like one, you're gonna play like one. And so I know, like, you know, if I want to be a leader also as well, I got to show everybody on the field that I can lead by example. You know, we're making plays, you know what I'm saying? And when you make the plays as a leader, everybody else buy into that, you know. So I feel like that was something I had to do, and that's built a lot of confidence in me. And also I feel like the game has also slowed down for me.
Quick follow. What are some of the things, maybe some examples of what you did differently this year and this offseason than you did in previous years?
Just being more aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Like not letting things happen, you know, and then going to do it. I'm going to make the things happen myself, you know. I feel like I had two times more takeaways this fall camp than I did last fall camp. You know, my technique is so much better, you know, and I'm flying around to the ball and I'm more physical. And I worked on that aspect during the summertime when everybody had time off. I was just grinding and just also, you know, just manifesting a lot of things. Sir.
Caleb McCory with OU Daily, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Hey, Trey, can you talk about your experiences practicing against Spencer Rattler, and what have you seen out of him in fall camp?
Man, he's a really good QB. You know, he's young, so you know a lot of young QBs also have, you know, things that they got to work out on their own. But as far as him, he doesn't make too many mistakes, and that just amazed me for what he can come in here and do as a young guy. Because if you've seen previous you know years, we've had kind of older guys coming in here also working into the system, you know. And with Coach Riley being a great coach, it was also easier for those guys also with the mental aspect. And so for Spencer Rattler to come in and just be that, you know, that good, that really amazes me and shows me he's going to be great for a while.
Let's go to Kerry Murdoch with Sooner Scoop and the Sports Animal, and then Garen Emig.
Hey, Trey. Yeah, we see a lot of Roy Manning on social media, you know, and just kind of his personality. How much did a coach like that help you guys kind of get through the ups and downs of you know, the preseason that you guys have had to all go through?
Man, that helps a lot, you know, because sometimes, you know, like previously, like everybody was just spaced out where there was no energy. But when you're with a guy like him, you know, it's just hard, like, not to find energy like that he gives out and just give it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? He dishes out the energy for everybody else. And also with him being a coach, it's like, man, you got to follow that, because it's like everybody go through things, you know what I'm saying? But when you have energy, it's hard to, like, you know what I'm saying, focus on those things. So I feel like his energy has brought in a lot of passion to other players and stuff.
Is there somebody on the team that does a best Roy Manning impression?
I don't know. We've tried it in the summertime. That didn't go well. That didn't go well at all.
Appreciate it, Trey.
No problem.
Okay, Garen Emig, Tulsa World, and then Joey Helmer.
Good to see you again, Mr. Brown. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Very cool.
Sure.
You've spoken a lot on social media about things beyond football the last several months. There's a lot going on, obviously, and you're in tune to that. What I want to ask you is, as fans start watching you play ball again, beginning Saturday, how important is it to you for them to see you beyond just a football player?
I feel like it's really important, you know, because we got lives outside of our jerseys. You know what I'm saying? So when we go home, we're just a regular person like everybody else. So we, you know what I'm saying, like, we want to be treated, you know, like the other people. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, don't look at us as a football player. You know what I'm saying? Also look at us as a human being, because that's what we are. You know what I'm saying? We have a life like everybody else. So we expect to be treated fairly just like everybody else. We want a fair chance.
Quick follow-up. Are you think people are getting you, like the fan base? You think they're giving you what you're after, or do they need to be a little bit more understanding of what you're going through?
I feel like they need to be a little more understanding. I mean, you know, not everybody's going to get you, because not everybody understands where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's in your shoes, you know, so it's hard for people to understand, to get you. But
yeah,
I feel like what people need to do better is understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, try to understand, you know, so that'll be the easiest thing to do for someone who's not in my shoes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Joey Helmer with OU Insider, and then Brandon Drum.
Hey, Trey, good to see you. I was just wondering what your thoughts have been on some of the young quarterbacks, Kendall Dennis, DJ Graham, and Josh Eaton. Your thoughts on those guys?
I mean, they're all learning, you know, they're young guys and stuff like that. So they're all learning. But as far as, you know, making players, they're doing well. They're doing exceptionally well. And I like Josh Eaton because he's picking up things a lot faster, you know what I'm saying? I like his size and stuff like that. But as far as the learning aspect, you know, they're all doing good. So they're going to be great.
Okay, we got time for 2 more questions. Brandon Drum with OU Insider, and then Keegan Renault.
Hey, Trey, what's going on, man? The difference in leadership this year, having to go through all the COVID stuff, how have you had to change up I guess maybe how vocal you are, how you keep everybody mentally focused, just in comparison to, I guess, in a normal year? And then the second question would be is Spencer last year, scout team, how much growth have you seen between then and now with him?
I mean, you know, with everything going on, it's very important that we all hold each other accountable and stuff like that. And for me being an older guy, you know what I'm saying, I got to speak more. You know what I'm saying? I got to speak more, like more than anybody else, because, you know, I've been here for almost 4 years now. So I know how things are, but this is a lot different, you know, battling with COVID. But, you know, everybody, you know, look up to me and stuff like that. So, you know, when everybody's watching, you got to keep your head up and stuff like that and keep everybody accountable. And as far as Spencer, man, I see a lot of growth, you know, from him being a competitive and him having to watch, you know, that's hard for anybody. And so what I see is that he took the time out of that time to really focus on his game, being one of the scout players, you know, behind some very good guys we had here. And for him to come in and you see his game translate over, you know, we got a game in 3 days, and you see him translate over to practice and stuff like that. He's looking real good, and that shows me that he was working while he was being a scout player. So I like the growth that I've seen from him.
Okay, Trey, our last question will be from Keegan Renault of Sooners Wire.
Trey, just curious, this culture of this defense. Alex Grinch spoke glowingly about it during his first appearance a couple weeks ago. Just the growth of this culture of this defense, especially compared to where it was at your first 2 years at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Repeat that one more time. I'm so sorry.
How do you feel about the culture of this defense? Just compared to, you've been through 2 years before Grinch, now just heading into your second year with him. Just where is the culture of this defense at?
Man, we're changing. Every year. This is like last year was a rebuild year. This year we're on track where we want to be, but we're gonna keep going. There's a lot of guys on the defense. Like where everybody has to be a leader, and we wanna change so that can keep stacking where we're going. You know what I'm saying? We want to build a legacy like you see other schools, other defenses. You know what I'm saying? Where like you see a new guy, he come in and he's lost. Nah, you got something to follow. You know what I'm saying? It's a standard here, and that's what we're continuing to build as we keep going and getting older. And that's gonna keep going way before long when I'm gone, because we got younger guys who's understanding, and they're gonna keep that going while we're gone. So I like the way we're going. It's a culture that's starting to become a culture here, and it's very healthy.